Hey guys, this is Kent from the Games Den, and today I'm reviewing Decay of Logos. This is a third-person action-adventure RPG, and it's a game with minimal hand-holding, so you really have to use trial and error and find your own way through the game. Now, the combat in the game, lots of people are going to end up comparing it with Dark Souls and things like that. It's not quite as hard as that, but it is challenging, and you do need to learn the movement patterns of the enemies, otherwise you're going to die very quickly. Now this is one of the opening cutscenes I'm showing here. I'm going to make sure not to show you any spoilers in the game. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I want you to enjoy the adventure yourself. Basically your village has been attacked and everybody's been killed, and it's up to you to try and solve the mystery and get revenge. This is your mystical elk. This elk is your companion throughout the game. The graphics really are obviously reminiscent of Zelda. There's no two ways about it. That is a fair comparison. The great thing is this game was made by a team of only 4 people though, so it really is an outstanding achievement. There you are, trying to tame the elk. That happens quite a lot in the game. Initially, she's not really that responsive to you. I must admit, I was hoping for a slightly better chest animation, something a little bit more epic. I thought that would have been better with a bit more music like we're used to in other titles. It's a small criticism. The only other thing really that I didn't like was these moments. These stones. Like, I'm pressing X a lot there and it says press X to read. It's quite clunky. These give you tips on how to play the game. And they're the only tips that you get from these stones. They're placed throughout the world at the start. And again, it was quite hard to leave it. This altar is where you will, it's a bit like a save game. This is where you will respawn if you die. And you will die. Here's one of my first encounters. This little boggit thing leapt out at me. They're fairly relentless, so I found it's best to kill them quite quickly. This was the first little cave area. And again, there was another chest here and some barrels. You can tell just from the short amount of gameplay that I'm showing today, the game doesn't give you an awful lot. Like, you're not picking up weapons in the field. You've got to kill enemies to get weapons and shields and things, and they're very sparsely given out. Here I got a potion to light up the sword. Probably shouldn't have used it at this point, but I was learning and finding my way. And then I've got this hearty brew. You press triangle on PS4 to use that. Here's one of the first bigger enemy battles that I faced. Missed him, hit the wall, got hit. Now I'm backing off, being careful. Just out of reach. Again got hit. This was me learning the combat. This is another encounter just after that one. You can see this is a good example of how you can get caught out. So I'm being stealthy here, but unfortunately I triggered one of them little boggit things as well. So they like doubled up on me, and that was the end of me. And that's where you respawn again. Okay, this is the very next area. When you die and go back to an area, all the enemies will respawn. So it's definitely important to sort of keep killing them and grinding up and leveling up. This is not a game you're going to be able to just run through avoiding enemies, because what will happen is the next area that you go to, they're going to be way over leveled for you. You can see I started learning my skills. I didn't get hit there. Okay, this is me training the elk. You have to find some berries. Here we go. Now I was thinking it'd be just like a horse. Off we go. So I'm pressing square for kick. It doesn't want to go anywhere. It's not having it at all. It's got a little stress bar. So this is one of the important mechanics in the game. You've got to persevere and keep training the elk. So at the beginning it doesn't want to know, it wants to do its own thing. Threw me off. 2 enemies there. I'm in a corner. It spat something at me and poisoned me. And the other one jumped at me. Good night, Vienna. Here's one of the first little dungeons, or like a sanctum that I found. At the moment I'm still poisoned from before. I haven't worked out how to get rid of that. There's a small amount of platforming in it as well, because you can jump. You don't want to fall down there. Any falls, you're dead. You can hear these wood creaking. Okay, this is a little bit further on. I've done a couple of jumps. Then you're going across this narrow bit. You can see I'm already a bit ill from the poison. I'm like, oh cool, some mushrooms. I'll eat them. Poisonous. Had to use my salvie brew just to stop myself from dying again. So, like I said, it's fairly brutal. So I push on to this next area.
You there, please, don't leave me here to rot. You must get me out.
And that's when I find my first friendly person. And like I said, I'm not going to spoil this encounter. I want you to enjoy it for yourselves. But you basically go through, down this ladder, and he's over there in the cell. This was another way into the very same area through this tunnel. Overall, I think this game is a fantastic achievement. And if you're a fan of this style of games, I think it's at least a sort of 8, if not 9 out of 10 game. It really is fantastic and really worth persevering with. I hope you enjoy your journey when you play it, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, drop us a comment, and maybe even subscribe. If you'd like to become a member of the channel, just click the little join button and you can get some exclusive stuff. Cheers, guys.